All right, so in here, 6 frames, and then what we call a follower board here. And what that does is it shrinks down their cavity to a size that bees will appreciate. What they want, what they look for. Tom Seeley, everybody who has done some learning in the bee world knows who that is. That guy's done a ton of research to learn all about the bees. Got some old comb in there. I have some Swarm Commander lure in here. And I thought that would bring in some bees because the only thing I'm missing, I think, is being up in the air about 15 feet. And that is preferable to bees. But I also like to listen to Fred Dunn. And Fred Dunn has a lot of bees just occupy hives that he's cleaned out from dead outs. And he leaves them in his yard. And they move in. So I thought, if I let my hives generate swarms, and I have the right attractants, I might catch my own bees. Not the case. So I'm thinking about getting rid of these hives and building deep frames for regular Langstroth hives. So double deeps, frame goes from the top box all the way to the bottom without a break. This is more natural for bees. Then they don't have to cross a little chasm to get to their honey in the cold when it's winter time. They just go straight up to the top as they eat. They will always possess those first 2 boxes deep of comb and honey. Only what goes on top of that is what I extract. So I could keep all my Langstroth set up, make the bottom a little bit more natural for them. And I think that's the way I want to lean. So essentially, going to more of what's called a Lazutin hive, which is some dude in Russia that made a hive with large frames. Similar to this. This is layings. Okay. Deeper. A little bit more than what I have in those hives, but not as big as I want. And then everything I have in my yard would be interchangeable, which is helpful, as opposed to these frames not functioning with those hives and vice versa. So I could not take frames out of those without reconfiguring them, ruining them, to move bees into here. That's my great challenge. So that's where it's at. Tried, failed. Second year I've had both these hives. I almost got them moved in last year. I put a Langstroth box on top of that one. 2 of them. And they were starting to build comb down into the layings, but they didn't do it fast enough to be ready for winter. So we nixed that idea. And here we are. But it's all a learning process. That's a large portion of the fun of beekeeping. Try new things.